Hey,
Hi.
Hey, two-wheeled friends. Got something a little bit different for you today. That's my 2019 Road King Special. That's Mrs. Two-Wheeled's 2018 Softail Heritage. And she's on the Road King.
I'm just keeping it warm for you, babe.
For the very first time, she is throwing her leg over this bike. We're going to go out on some country roads. She's going to get the feel if she likes this bike or not. And we'll go from there, but we'll talk about it a little bit as we go. We're going to record her riding this for the first time.
Correction, this is not the first time I've kicked my leg on this bike. I mean, I've sat on this bike a handful of times. I've just never been on it like this while it's running.
That's very true. Yeah, first time you're going to actually put it in gear and ride it.
Okay, bye.
And I'm going to ride this thing, I guess. And we're going to take it at your pace.
Granny style.
Nope, but I'm going to follow behind you.
Okay. So you should tell me, what is the biggest difference that I should be aware of while riding this bike?
That hydraulic clutch lets out a lot different. That's the biggest thing. And you got a little more weight. I mean, you're going to shift similar spots, you know, and just use the toe shifter because that's what you're used to.
It's not that bad.
The brakes, the front and rear brakes are synced, so that will feel a little bit different.
Okay.
Definitely only use rear brake like 15 miles an hour and under, so when you're coming up to a stop sign.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you can lightly be on the front brake and be perfectly fine, but with the extra weight of that bike, I just recommend only using the rear.
Got it.
I mean, now obviously when you're coming up to slow down, you got to use both. It might ride a little rougher, one, because that rear tire needs to be replaced, but two, they're a little lower profile than you're used to.
I was gonna make a smart aleck comment about the tire. Like, it feels flat, Josh.
Well, I've pushed that tire further than what I was told for recommendations too.
Sure. Oh, sorry, beep. I'm already up to 60.
That's one thing you'll probably feel with that bike is it wants to get up and go. But that's going to be for you to gauge, you know, being
Sure.
your first time. It's almost like a review for you. I guess this road didn't go as far as I thought it was going to go. So I guess you'll get to turn
Which way are we going?
left. Yep, and this is just a yield, so there's nobody coming, so
Your shifter, or the shifter on this bike, it seems like it's closer to the bike than on my bike, if that makes sense. Like, I feel like I have my foot kind of turned into the right a little bit.
it might be a little smaller. Kind of looking at this one.
The foot brake feels much closer on this bike to my foot than on my bike.
Like, what do you mean? To what?
Like,
To your ankle?
no, like, I feel like I have to, like, move my foot over and then lift my foot up.
Yeah, it could be that seating position. I gotta, like, sitting on yours and you say that, I gotta move my foot out to hit your brake though, so. But I think that's how it is. You just tuck your toe under the brake and then,
Right.
you know, when you need it, you just move your foot out.
Yep.
How do the bars feel?
Fine. I mean, I can feel a little pull, like, in between my shoulder blades, but I think it's just because my body's not used to the higher bars.
Now they should be more comfortable.
Yeah. But my body is awfully tense right now.
Why are you nervous?
A little. And it's a little overwhelming.
All right, there's a stop sign here.
Oh, yeah, I see that. Thank you for being my eyes.
Then we'll turn right. And then we'll go straight instead of going around the curve.
Oh, go out by...
Oh, where that water's at. And if you don't want to fully stop, we can do a California roll stop, and that will be perfectly fine.
Nope,
Yeah, just take it slow.
a little wide.
It's alright, I was looking the other way for you.
Thanks.
I had a feeling you would go wide. Can you feel the power difference?
Watch out, there's a pheasant. There's a pheasant! Get out of the way! The shifting feels, it's definitely a lot smoother than the Heritage. I feel like my Heritage is a little bogged down in comparison to how yours shifts.
Yeah, and that tuner, it could be how it's set too, but I have that tuner set really aggressively.
Yeah.
So it's like sport mode. My helmet's telling me battery level low.
Oh no!
Yeah, but it does that all the time. So anyways, we wanted to bring Mrs. Two-Wheeled out and try riding the 2019 Road King. So in the event, in the days to come, weeks to come, months to come, whatever the case, and it gets winter time and we want to make a move on some other kind of motorcycle for either Mrs. Two-Wheeled or I, so we have our options open and we can make those decisions if we would part ways with this deluxe, or not deluxe, why am I calling it this Heritage or that Road King. So we both really like both bikes probably equally the same. I mean, I love that Road King. I really like this bike. I mean, even for me to ride, but I like it for Molly to ride because I feel it fits her well. But if we want to do more bigger trips, this one works, but that Road King would probably be a little better. And hopefully there's not a lot of microphone popping going on right now, and that you can actually understand my audio.
I'll give you my side of the story. So as you guys have all seen, Dustin has his eyes on a road glide. It was pretty evident in one of the last videos that came out. And the conversation kind of turned into, well, does he really want to give up his Road King for the road glide? Because I still remember the day that he came across this bike and he's like, I think I found my dream bike. And I never want anyone to ever feel like they have to give up their dream bike for another bike. So out of the blue, I just said, well, instead of trading in your Road King, why don't we just trade in the Heritage? And we both kind of pondered. And then Tommy at Glacial Lakes found out. And then he was kind of throwing some stuff at Dustin, like, hey, you know, if you trade in the Heritage, we could do this with a road glide. So that is part of why we have decided that, hey, is it time for Molly to get on the Road King just to get a feel for it? And if that day does come where we say goodbye to a bike, which one is it going to be? And then we can, you know, compare our options.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately I would like to keep both bikes and still get another bike, but financially that might not make sense because it's kind of like tools in a toolbox. Sometimes you don't always need that tool, but sometimes you just want to use that tool because you need it. And if I kept that Road King and say this Heritage and got a different bike, I would probably do a few different things to that Road King. But with getting the Fury, that's my basically open fairing, no windshield type bike for local. That was the intent. And one of the things I like about that Road King is I can take the windshield off, but obviously a road glide you can't. But I'd have that Fury to ride for that tool, so to say. for that purpose.
That tool.
Yep. Now I did take off my Lapera Daddy Longlegs tail whip seat and put on the stock seat for Molly to ride with. I just felt that that would probably move her back a little too far because I know where it moves me. And it definitely felt weird because I rode that bike out to where we started this video and I could tell that it moved me down back to where I was used to being prior to that seat. And we can turn left up here.
Oh, you don't want to go straight?
Going left will take us to 212.
Yep, I know where we are. Remember when the dog chased you from this house?
I was just gonna say that. I mean, we could go right and end up going to Highway 20, but... And
That's gravel. That little spot on that road turns into gravel.
Yeah. Well, that was second gear I took off in.
Was it chugging?
A little bit. It felt a little weird. I should have brought my other camera.
Are you watching me?
Yep.
Hey, what are they doing over there? A whole bunch of orange hats.
I suppose they're out pheasant hunting.
Well, they clearly missed one because I almost hit it.
Yep. Yeah, and you'd have somewhere to put your feet out on too.
Yeah? That feels weird.
Which they could be down lower.
Yeah.
I just left them where the previous owner had them set. And I've just made it work, but they should be a little lower. Anything else that you want to kind of talk about while we got the cameras rolling?
Well, I was going to tell you, if you ever wanted to trade while we're on this ride, fat chance. I don't think I want to go back to my bike.
No? You like how that feels?
I kind of do.
Yeah. I mean, it's like the Street Glide you rode, you know,
Yeah.
like 23 Street Glide. Basically, I mean, it's the same frame, you just don't have the fairing.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have a 6-gallon tank, and if I was on a road glide, we both have 6-gallon tanks, so we wouldn't have the battle between 5 and 6 gallon, like always fueling when this bike needed it.
Right.
I mean, this is like a toy. I can move this around.
I can feel the weight difference, especially like when I lean into corners. Like I have to kind of shift my body a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really comfortable on that bike that I know I lean that bike over quite a bit turning, and it'll do more than you think.
Yeah. And really, the clutch isn't that bad. Like I was expecting it to just be like, go, you know, when I let go, but it's like I can feel I need a little bit more strength in my hands.
Yeah.
But
so do you want to go straight?
I don't care. And I know that you said, you know, when you don't, I won't have to give it that much gas while releasing the clutch, but my body, you know, that muscle memory is so used to it where I have to, you know, twist the throttle a little bit, but I probably don't even need to.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes you go.
Yeah, just go.
So you said you wouldn't want to give it back. What else, like, what is it that you think is that reason why?
It's just comfortable. You know, I've made comments about my bike and how I feel that, like I sit on it, and on your bike I feel like I'm actually sitting in the bike.
I would agree with that.
I'm sure you can really feel that now.
Oh yeah, and that's kind of my disappointment when I put that Lapera seat on, because that factory seat I felt like I was sitting in the bike, but when I put that Lapera on I felt like I'm sitting a little bit more on it. I don't feel as in it.
Yep.
But I think if the bars were 4 inches taller, because that's what I would put on that, it might feel more like I'm sitting in it then.
Like the bars are a comfortable height, I feel, but I feel like I could probably, you know, even if I were to steal this bike from you, you know, I'd probably still be comfortable with 2 more inches of bar.
Yeah, and looking at where your, you know, how your arms look to your shoulders, I know you could definitely do that.
Yeah.
So 2 or 4 more. I mean, those are 12s on that. Or I don't know, I forget now. Maybe they're 14. I measured them before. Because Because I think I was thinking 18s would be about right on that bike for me.
The disadvantage of this bike compared to the Heritage is like I'm familiar with the sounds of my Heritage, so I know exactly which sound I need to achieve to shift up or down without, you know, kind of jerking or anything like that. And this bike seems quieter. And I know we've had that conversation just on the couch, you know, like my bike is definitely louder in comparison and yours just has like a lower rumble.
Well, it sounds quieter because the exhaust, both exhausts come out the back.
That's true.
So then you don't get quite as much of that noise while you're going down the highway. Like in town, you would notice the sound more than out here.
Yeah.
So when you're doing 400 or 500 miles or whatever in a day, the exhaust doesn't bother you as much versus
Sure.
coming out the side. And this bike, it comes out behind the exhaust at least, compared to some bikes that, well, like the Fury, you know, it doesn't have bags, so you hear the exhaust pretty loud.
Yeah.
The sun's got a little heat to it yet.
I know. Making me squint.
Yeah, and I know the video quality going into the sun's not going to be the best either. So anything else you want to add? We should probably wrap this video up for this part anyways.
I don't really have anything else to add. How does it make you feel seeing me ride this bike?
I don't know, I guess I haven't really thought about it.
Are you proud? Are you proud of me?
I don't know, I mean maybe in a way, because I've seen how you've progressed through different bikes, you know?
Yeah.
And basically, if you can get on and ride a big bagger, you can pretty much ride anything. That's how I feel.
Sure.
So yeah, I mean, there was a little nervousness when we talked about you riding that bike, because I didn't know for sure how you would handle that clutch, and like letting it out when you're turning and things like that is probably where I was worrying the most.
Yeah.
But it's just adjusting to the bike, learning that friction zone, and kind of knowing just to slowly let it out and don't get yourself into too much trouble just letting the clutch go and like hammering it, you know?
Yeah.
Because I do know that throttle is touchy just with how I have it set. But yeah, I mean, I knew you'd be able to ride it. I just don't know what it means at this point, I guess.
Yeah.
What do all of our two-wheeled friends think? I mean, these white walls on this bike with the chrome make it look pretty sharp, but that blacked out Road King with Mrs. Two-Wheeled on it, what do you think of that? Is that something that you guys could get used to seeing? Put it down in the comments below. You probably already have, but if you haven't, you know, another thing I should just mention as a reminder, now that the video for GPMM 2025 has been officially released, we don't have the dates ironed out quite yet, but that end of May, early June of 2025, the Great Plains Moto Meet will be in Watertown, South Dakota. It's officially a traveling event. Stevie Foe had asked us if we would like to host it this year, and we said, and we said yes. So I do appreciate that offer, the opportunity for us to see what South Dakota is all about. All of you can come and ride these South Dakota roads with us. It's going to be a fun event. If you haven't watched that video, go back and watch the one that's got the Fury on it, titled Announcement. Well, let's go left. We'll go over to Highway 81.
Okay.
I think that's going to be our best route out of here. Hazel, South Dakota. Well, unless there's somewhere, like a sign somewhere we can take a picture at.
Go park in front of your aunt and uncle's house.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that bank down there. It's kind of into the sun, but that'd be kind of fun to take a picture in Hazel.
Okay, I'll follow you. Your blinker's still on.
Yeah, cameras are on yet too. This is where you'll notice the weight a little too.
Yeah, I'm gonna try very, very hard to not dump your bike.
Yep, just take it slow. Because that extra weight, you know.
Where do you want me to stop?
I'll let you know. Okay, that's good. And just keep the bike running.
Hey, I found neutral.
Yay. The side stand is a little different.
Yeah, I'd say.
Yay. You did, I don't know, probably at least 20 miles, 30 miles. I don't know how long
Mostly
that
going
is.
straight, and I'm really good at going
Yeah,
straight.
there's a few turns. But we're going to take a picture because I've been riding so many days in a row, and hopefully you've been watching that on social media. But this is going to be today's picture, and then we're going to probably head back towards town, but that's going to be the end of this video.
Goodbye.
So so unless there, I know I keep giving you opportunities if you want
No.
to say more.
I'm good.
No? So when we go back to town, what bike do you want to ride?
I'll ride my bike.
What?
Yeah, my bike.
Oh, your bike?
My bike.
Oh, okay. All right, thanks for watching, Two Wheeled Friends. If you are new to the channel, be sure to go down, leave a comment, give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified for future uploads and activities. And until the next time, peace out. And we will see you all on the next one. Bye-bye.
Bye.